Hi, my name is Madeline Parker. Welcome to my channel, House of Spirit. And this afternoon I'm going to do my weekly Astro Tarot report with a focus on the Venus transit into Gemini in all the 12 houses. So I will I will first do a general read on the general influence of this transit and other possible planetary transits that are occurring that might want to come through in the read and talk to us. But this read will have a focus of the Gemini transit, the Venus transit into Gemini, and then I will pull cards on each one of the ascendant signs. So let's go ahead and start. I hope you're all doing well and hanging in there. I know that some people are feeling pretty frightened, and I will say, my experience, I kind of like this pace. I think this is the way I always want to live. Very calm. I love it. Not a lot of traffic. So, and the pollution, the air is beautiful right now. So I see a lot of positives in this. So I hope that you're experiencing most of the positives in this as well. So, all right, let's have a look and see what the cards would like to say. For this, I invite in highest guides and angels so that we may be guided to clarity around what is happening with this transit of Venus into the sign of Gemini and what will bring us clarity about this transit so that we may navigate these changes in harmony with the universe, so that we may expand in the way that is highest, best, least effort for us. All right. Alrighty, let's take a look. Wheel of Fortune at the bottom of the deck. I don't know why I always seem to get really positive reads. Even when my clients call me, it's like sometimes they can't believe the positive reads. I am Jupiter ruled, that's true. I'm Sagittarius and Moon Pisces, Sun Sagittarius, Moon Pisces, so that is pretty Jupiterian ruled, so maybe I am always going to be the optimist. Well, there's a little bit of a, aha, there we get Gemini card and the Lovers card, plus we've got the Moon in Venus in the 11th spot of my card, so that that might be something that could be seen as maybe challenging, shall we say, but this to me looks like a process that's going on. Now, this card does rule Pisces, the Moon card. Let's take a look here for a minute and receive the message that is most clear. We get the Chariot, the Cancer card. We get the Moon, Pisces, Gemini. Victory, Six of Wands, Six of Cups, reconciliation to heart. You know, Gemini is the sign of Venus. Gemini is ruled by Mercury, sorry. But the card in tarot is Gemini. This signifies the sign of Gemini. So, and this is my divine section of my read. So what it looks like is that, and then we get reconciliation. So what I'm going to say, because Gemini is the sign of the twin, so this is possibly twin flames coming into union here in heart-based, true, heart-aligned relationships that are divinely connected. Because in the heart spot of my reads indicates the truth, the feeling, the emotional, the subconscious. So we're looking at reconciliations of relationships from a heartfelt, true nature from the heart that possibly were not reciprocal in the past, that the energies needed to be turned away from in order for there to be victory. But this was the fated destiny for this divine partnership to happen. So with this Venus and Gemini, I'm going to say it's very possible twin flames will come into union, but also in general, divine partnerships will sort of have a realigning, a reboosting, an energetic dynamic shift. And I'm going to say, because of the moon hitting in the 11th spot, this is divine. The message in the 11th spot in my reads is sort of like a divine portal of the highest message. So with the moon there, I'm going to say we still have this Pluto-Jupiter conjunction in the picture. So I'm going to say there's still possible triggers occurring during this transit. In other words, if you have any more sort of deep, wounding, emotional blockages to divine love, I have a feeling that these energies will be triggered so that you can go forward and be set free of them. So if you have any more, so this might be challenging for some people if they still have triggers to release. They're going to come up because we are being pushed timely, this is possible divine timing, to expand beyond because I get two cards here at the bottom to sort of break through and move forward with this Chariot, so that we have Cancer, we have the North Node in the sign of Cancer. A lot of missions, a lot of our purposes involve union with our mates, our twin divine mates. So whatever triggers or fears that are blocking union are going to be pushed through with divine force, triggering you, moving you to the next level so that you can break free and then align with your true destiny here, which is the North Node in Cancer, taking you to your highest mission, which is where this universe is most supportive of you to go. And then we get the Fool card. We get these two cards sort of turned away out of alignment. Again, Venus and Gemini. Let me see what emotional, this is the emotional section of my read, divine. I would say that creative adventures, new beginning, creative adventures that have been blocked because of the issues in the relationship are going to come up for clearing, purging, in order to put you into union here, because it's time. That's the best I can see with this message. Then we get the Nine of Wands here, which indicates knowledge because this is hitting in my knowledge section of my read, and these are thoughts. So we're going to go into this transit with sort of remainder burdening thoughts, possibly around something that is a dream come true or a wish. So I'd say we're going into the transit still burdened by thoughts around a deep desire for union. But the divine wants you to know that whatever time there is currently where we are still turned away and not in union is in order to clear any last purging fears in order to bring you into your Gemini union time frame of this transit, breaking you free in order to take forward, in order to get on your fated divine path with the North Node in Cancer, heart mission, divine supported mission, okay? So now I'm going to pull cards for each of the signs and look at what house it falls in for you. So we're going to start with the sign of Aries, and that falls in your third house for Aries. So possible communication will open up for you. Two of Wands and the Strength card comes out for Aries. I would say with this Venus transit into the third house, again, this is the card that represents Taurus. Does it represent Taurus? No. Now I'm blocking. Leo. This is the card that represents Leo. So let's take that back. So we've got Mercury in the third house. I would say with this card that Aries is bringing a sort of ability to bring heart union together through taming their fears. That's what this is saying. So I would say that this is pushing Aries to tame their fears and find ways to bring more union and closeness to your mate. So you could be in a relationship or you could be single. Either way, you're going to feel a strong heart push to tame your fears around love and to actually figure out what they are, which is exactly what that moon card is to come in and take a deep look at these fears that have you blocking or turning away and being non-reciprocal in love. turning away from something that you truly desire, that is a brand new fresh start that could really, so I think that Aries is connected to the desire to really take effort to combat fears, to bring an intimate closeness into your life. So that would be for Aries. And now let's go for the sign of Taurus. So this is putting Venus in your second house. Let's see what cards come out for Taurus. Well, isn't that interesting? Taurus is ruled by Venus. And second house. So let's let the card come out here. Second house, and you know, Venus is, oh wow. So Venus is also a financially positive planet that's supportive of financial pleasure and advancements, enjoying your financial state and making your life comfortable and pleasurable. So I would say that for this transit of Gemini in Venus, expanding your financial progression, either in a way that is truly in alignment with your higher calling that you really love, and that heart connected with this chariot, with this Cancer in the North Node, there's going to be some very strong progress in alignment movement towards finances in a way that's deeply fulfilling, or that involves your true divine mate, that is fated, aligning you to your true destiny here. So now we're going to go to the sign of Gemini. This is in your first house. See what cards come out for Gemini, please, Spirit. What cards would you like us to see or send our way for the sign of Gemini, please? Queen of Swords. It's funny because now we get this, we get the Six of Pentacles in alignment. So for Gemini, this is, because this Queen of Swords is the honest, she's a boundary setter, so Gemini is balancing into the right, not giving too much, and not being out of alignment, or not being the non-reciprocal one, being out of alignment in the relationship. In other words, breaking free from turning away and not non-reciprocal and being indecisive, possibly not making a decision, ending that pattern and sort of standing forward and being committed, aligning with it, going ahead. Gemini, this is your card showing up in the read. So releasing these fears that make you either non-reciprocal or in situations that are non-reciprocal. But this is an ending of an out of balance. Plus, don't forget, we've got this new moon in Libra coming up. I didn't bring full moon in Libra. I should have brought that up here too. But that Justice card is not showing up, so maybe we're okay to talk about that. But we do have the moon card, full moon. So let's bring that into the picture here. So this full moon in Libra coming up on the 7th is also part of this picture. So, which is about balancing give and take in relationships. And this happens almost every year. We have to realign and rebalance and make sure we're not giving too much or taking too much, and vice versa. All right, Gemini? So this is a rebalancing for you, to not be afraid to start reciprocating. So I would say it's a step up to allowing your oh my gosh, how funny, the Justice card just came through, the Libra card. So we are talking about the Libra full moon coming up. All right, now we are going to look for Cancer, please. Cancer, which puts this Venus in your 12th house, which is a more, isn't that such a 12th house card with that Judgment card, putting you into a more receptive, connective period with the higher realms, with what you really love. You might even be connecting with your divine mate up in the higher realms, connecting more on a spiritual level, or even possibly, 3 cards came out, or possibly knowing, waking up to the truth of the love situation that you might be in, and releasing illusionary other relationships or other thoughts, negative thoughts. Like there's an awakening for Cancer around, what house did we say? It's in your 12th house. 12th house, a belief shift around love. believe, it's like your faith will be restored in love. You will know that this is also can be the competition card, winning a competition. You will know that the truth, you will be victorious. Divine truth wins the 12th house. You're going to have a belief system that shows you that true love is victorious, because this is another winning card. We get this winning card that you had to turn your energies away to win in a non-reciprocal situation with your divine union mate that you truly desire. In this situation, we get a possible communication coming in, realizing that you and your divine mate have awakened, and there is victory here, and we're pulling away from negative other people karmics or beliefs or attachments. Again, these are fear type energies here. So we're pulling away from fears, attachments to others, block other choices that have been blocking that union. This is fun. I hope you're enjoying it. The Star card now wanted to show up. Four of Wands wants to show up. Let's take a look at Leo now. So this Venus transit into Gemini is hitting your 11th house of social media, society, friends groups. So you could maybe meet someone in your friends group, then a relationship with a friend turns into romance, or you meet through a group of friends your true divine mate, or you reconcile with your true divine mate through social media. So let's have a look for the sign of Leo, please. Or you expand, because Venus is money-making, you could expand a money-making project with your divine mate through social media, okay? For the sign of Leo, please, with Venus in the 11th. Project, right there. Financial opportunities. So, wow, because, you know, Venus is very much a money and financial planet, so I would say a new financial opportunity doth cometh for the sign of Leo, bringing a new financially productive start project, possibly that's already been sort of started, but taken to the next step, or given I would say the 11th house, possibly you are approached from your tribe to initiate a project that possibly you can do at home. That brings you fulfillment. It's heart fulfillment, Leo. You're going to enjoy it, and it's a new financial start. That's very Venetian energy. And so let's look for the sign of where are we? Leo, Virgo. Let's do Virgo now, please. 2 cards for Virgo. How will this transit in the 10th house for Virgo? So this could be career. It could be expansion of a career in something that you find very pleasurable, or it's very feminine, or it's very artsy and creative and sensuous and pleasurable career. Or you bring that to you add that energy to your work, and it brings you more money. There's that Ace of Cups, which would represent emotional new beginnings in ways that are emotionally fulfilling, that filleth your cup. In the 10th house. So there we go, in the sign of Gemini, divinest energies, in very, very sort of supportive. Oh, look at that, dual energies. I'm sorry, 2 cards with the energy. This card for me in reads, for me is energy. So I would say that there is a rapid expansion, rapid movement in something you didn't think could be. And where are we? Are we in Virgo? We're in Virgo. 10th house, though, so career involved, possibly a way of working that you really love will start really becoming more passionately, rapidly expanding. And then we get the King of Cups that's showing here, would indicate that something that is true love, or a regeneration of love. It could be a relationship that you thought was a no way Jose, rapidly coming in. So there's some sort of a shift in a situation that felt blocked, that is of your heart. And I would say, to align it with the rest of the read, would indicate that it could very much be a reconciliation with a divine mate that you may have been in separation with. Let me see what other Virgo card. The Hermit Virgo card is not here, which is nice. The Empress is here. I forget to talk about her, but this is drawing in, calling it in. Divine wants you to go ahead and receive this love, allow it to attracted by turning any kind of obsessive or needy energies, or turning your energies away to win. So the feminines have succeeded in realigning their own energies within themselves in order to win. Feminine doing very well, clearing fears. So let's see, right now we're looking at Libra. This is going to be in your 9th house, okay, Libra? So this is for the sign of Libra. 2 of Wands. And don't forget, we got to talk about this. For Libra, this full moon is in your 1st house. So we get the moon. So we get 2 of Wands, Page of Pentacles. I would say that Libra's gonna know that there is still very much a strong spark in a divine relationship, and gain an understanding of some deep fear issues involved around either a project or financial project that was really inspiring and that you really wanted, you turned your back from. I think that it could very much, for some, involve union with their divine mate. I'm going to pull one more card for Libra, since this Gemini moon, since this Gemini is happening in your 9th house, plus Venus in your, wow, I get the Ace of Cups again with that energy coming in. So I would say for Libra ascendant, if you've had a past relationship that was you had either been conflicted about or there was conflict in, you were realizing that you turned away from something that was financially very progressive for you as well, and that there was a spark there. So let's have a look, and that the feelings are still there. So for Libra ascendant, I'm with this also, this full moon, you really are aligning to a truth in a divine, the truth of a feelings that you're really going to move into, shift into heart space, and you're going to know you turned away from something that the spark still is there for, and also brings you possibly prosperous projects with that person. And that there is a fear. You're sort of trying to discover what it is about you that made you non-reciprocal, and what was your fear about in this divine partnership. I guess you're kind of realizing the feelings are still there. This is a nice transit, I think, everybody. Okay, let's have a look now for the sign of Scorpio. This is going to be in your 8th house. So let's look at Scorpio 8th house. This could be a death and rebirth, a very transformative experience in your relationships. Either you end a relationship that's not in your highest best, and you release, yeah, look, isn't that funny? You pulling away, this is for the sign of Scorpio, pulling away from non-heart-centered relationships, because these are sword relationships. So what else? Woo! There's no card wanting to come out. For Scorpio, please. Scorpio, be clear. Venus in their 8th house in the sign of Gemini, please, for Scorpio. The Devil, interesting. And then the Star card. So I would say for Scorpio, Venus in the 8th house is clearing, I would say, clearing fear attachments to relationships. I mean, we've got Pluto also in Capricorn right now, which is also kind of clearing some deep fears in relationships. And then with this, where's your full moon going to be? In Libra for Scorpio, in your 12th house. So I would say because we get the Star card at the ending here, I would say that for Scorpio, you're clearing karmic relationships. You're pulling out of karmic relationships and realizing that you want to be in more hopeful, faith-based choice relationships. In order to be, and sort of releasing the fear, So this for Scorpio, they're going to really pull out of. They're going to be really aligned with what relationships aren't good for them, and then restore to that'll sort of raise their frequency so that they can be in relationships that are more faith restorative, energetically restorative to them, that drain them. All right, so for Sagittarius, I would say this is in your 7th house. So for you guys, 7th house, well, that is the sign of a relationship. We've got that full moon in Libra coming in for Sagittarians in your 11th house. So possibly a friendship relationship turns into a true divine committed relationship here, a reunion with a true divine mated relationship. Or things go to the next level with your divine mate, Sagittarius, the 7th house, close personal relationships. All right, let's have a look. 2 cards for the sign of Sagittarius, please. Hermit card and 2 of Swords, Hermit card, Emperor. I would say that for Sagittarians, there is going to be a shift from being very, shall we say, alone to being very much in your, because this is the Aries card, so, and there's also the Emperor. It's very much, I would say, and with it being in your 7th house, this is kind of a tricky one. I would say for Sagittarians, clarity please, understanding, taking an introspective period. Some Sagittarians are sort of understanding their fear blocks. I would say intimacy, possibly intimacy in relationships, and that you're lonely, and that, in other words, the relationships that make you, the reasons that you feel isolated maybe in relationships is going to be cleared, and bringing you more of a understanding of your tendency to, it's kind of like an escape, because fire signs tend to be a little more escapist. So there's a little bit of a understanding about your tendencies to escape relationships out of fear, or the closeness, or not being close, or not being present in a relationship. Putting you, now these are the fears that are going to push you through to union. So there's going to be a realization with this in your 7th house as to what your fear blocks are, and which is that what causes loneliness for you is a tendency to turn away from being intimately available in a relationship, something like that, like an awareness of a tendency to turn away and escape. Okay, so now we're going to look at Capricorn for the 6th house with this Gemini energy, Capricorn. So that would possibly be day-to-day routines, your health, making sure you take a lot of good self-care of your health and nourishment and soothing, and then your day-to-day routines, and possibly work project that you really love that bring you are expansively financial. Okay, let's have a look for the sign of Capricorn, and with the 6th house, possible relationships, day-to-day routine shifts in regards to your relationship. Let's have a look for Capricorn. 3 of Wands. And then don't forget we have full moon for Capricorn in the 10th house. Again, this is kind of 2 work-related energies, a future. So for Capricorn, they're very much in alignment to really take forward with an inspiring future. There we go with this fire sign of passion, of projects that are desirable, that you really, really enjoy, Capricorn. So I feel like this video is really long. Hopefully they'll let me download it. I don't know how long I'm allowed to download for YouTube. But for Capricorn, you are definitely on an aligned path towards an inspiring project that is of heart, that is pleasurable, that excites you, that may involve your divine mate, or it could be a co-project with your divine mate that financially expands you, okay? That you find fulfilling and inspiring. Now for the sign of Aquarius. saving money, Four of Pentacles, holding back, and nice, Queen of Swords. So for you guys, this energy hits the 5th house, which is a creative, fire, passionate sign. So I think for Aquarius, you're no longer going to have to hold back and turn away from creative, fun projects is going to end. Why? Why do you say that? In other words, you don't have to be so, having to be so conservative around something that was an adventure that you would really like to do is going to be over. And that could be a creative project, could be a relationship that you turned away from. Let's see, I just got to double check. Plus we've got the full moon for Aquarius in the 9th house. It could be involved travel. So travel. I guess the 5 of Wands would indicate, I would say the return of, now we get the 5 of Wands, which is conflict or confusion. So around travel, we are looking at the 9th house, Gemini. Didn't I say in the 5th house, Aquarius, Venus and Gemini, creative projects returning that there might have been conflict around, fears. There might have been fears around it that were conflicting, causing conflict, will now return. That will be making you money because, and then, you know, financially progressive, as this read is talking about, going forward. It's universally supported, inspiring projects that you know are safe, that will break you free and put you on your right path. Okay, so now for Pisces. And these could be for your sun, moon, and ascendant. Why not? Maybe. Let's look for Pisces. We get the Magician. For Pisces, this is happening in your 4th house. Home, property, family, mother. So we really are looking at fears being purged out. So Pisces are going to become more empowered. They're going to feel more self. Also, 4th house is love, mother, love, nurturing. I think that Pisces are going to become more empowered, more feeling like standing up in their own self-love, and not being so conflicted about their own value. Pisces has a tendency to sort of give too much in non-reciprocal situations. So I would say that this Venus in Gemini is going to really empower the Piscean energy to be in situations that are either conflicted or non-reciprocal, that there's an awakening, that this was an experience for you to, there's this Page of Pentacles wanting to come through. Again, it brings you financial upgrade and new financial projects that may have been in the past or may have been already sort of instigated, but sort of a boost in these projects because you have woken up to being in your center and in your manifesting powers around people and non-reciprocal relationships or projects. And so you're sort of stepping into more of being awoken to your value. All right. I hope this read was clarifying for you and helpful, and it was certainly fun for me to do. So thank you for watching. Namaste.